So yesterday I'm chopping it up at the barbershop with my barbershop family. And as time going by, I realized the movie on television. It was the classic movie Coach Carter. If you're familiar with it, cool. If you're not, man, you should go back and check it out. I was so captivated and caught up in the moment as I remembered watching that movie back when I was younger. And, so many moments in that movie, really got my attention and made me think and expound on my thoughts as life in the current moment and life in the future moving forward. It's so relatable because with me being the author of the books titled Inside the Business of Calm Management, Calm is a double entendre for choices you make. When you watch a movie like Coach Carter, you see the value and importance of a person like that in the community. I would advise that all kids, males and females that are athletes and kids, period, just, growing through life and moving forward, you should go and watch that movie because it really has life wrapped up in a nice, pretty little bow. Either you're going to do this, you're going to do that. If you do this going to happen. If you do that, this going to happen. Everything you need to know is in that movie. You know, the people in the community was so caught up in the fact that, they wanted their kids to play basketball. And, that was the big picture for them, just the game. But Coach Carter came in being a former student athlete of that community and a player on that team 30 years ago. He wanted to come in and make a difference and be an impactful figure to the community and the establishment all in one. Prior to him getting there, the team had only won 4 games the year before. When he came in and implemented a contract that, each player would sit on uh, the front row in class every day, go to all classes, and, wear a jacket and tie on game day. What he was doing was trying to reshape their foundation and give them structure and, things that were bigger far as structure and boundaries were concerned and knowing how to act. The most important thing you need to know how to do in all situations is know how to act. And what he was doing was teaching them how to act. See, the game of basketball was just a vehicle to get them to the next level of where they were going in life and teaching them how to deal with people, ups, downs, adversity, triumphs, and all of the things that come with life on a daily basis. Sometimes in life, it's going to be times when, you're going to have to be who you need to be to make it through the day. Everything is not going to require a response. Everything is not going to require a reaction. Sometimes you're going to have to roll with the punches and take it on the chin just to be who you need to be to make it through the day. That's in any sport you play and, just in life on a daily basis. The people in the community were so mad that he was implementing these rules of structure that all they saw was the game. And they were saying, if you take basketball away from them, you're going to take everything from them. That's all they got. My point is, if only thing you have is basketball, football, baseball, or whatever sport you play, if that's all you have, you don't have nothing. And what he was trying to show them was a bigger picture, the big picture. Well, the team ended up going undefeated until they made it into the championship, and they lost that last game. But the balance and structure and discipline and the development that came along the way was so monumental and meant so much that those guys could actually see themselves being more than just the people in the hood that they were prior to encountering Coach Carter. You got one kid on the team that had a girlfriend. Ashanti was playing that part. She was a pretty yellow thing in the neighborhood. Apparently, obviously, they was fucking not wearing no protection. And once he got her pregnant, she did like most of these motherfuckers do. And all she could see was herself. Oh, you gonna go to college? Or you gonna leave me to take care of this baby by myself? And blah, blah, blah. Well, it was so many things that could have been taking place in that situation prior to them laying down, participating in that spine tingling, toe curling euphoria, which in all actuality, they were both applying for a job. But since the decision had already been made and that they didn't protect themselves or wear a condom or anything like that, he was trying to look at his future because from being influenced by Coach Carter, he could see more for himself than being just a regular hood nigga around there stuck with a kid. That's one example. The other kids were kicked off the team and the team was penalized because they weren't meeting the contract far as the academic standards were concerned. See, the thing you got to understand is that you're a student athlete, and the word student comes before athlete for a reason. Because if you're not meeting your academic requirements, it doesn't matter how good of an athlete you are, you're not going to be able to display your talents to the world to further move forward in your endeavors as far as being an athlete is concerned if you're not meeting the student requirements, right? The days of Dexter Manley is over with. The most important thing is to get it in your head and get it in your heart. And that way you'll feel good about it when you're sitting down in the situation, taking a test or, having a conversation with your peers and your colleagues about the subject matter that's being discussed. I can recall one kid in the movie saying, coach said to him, man, you doing bad in such and such class. He said, oh, me and him good. He a big basketball fan. No, wrong. It's nothing that feels better in life when you're dealing with learning than to get the knowledge in your head, get the information in your heart, and go forward. It's okay to study for something and achieve, that information and know that you feel good about your position as far as that curriculum is concerned. It's not even, I don't recommend you cheating or none of that or letting somebody do your homework for you, because the thing is this, when it come time to take that final exam and it come time to sit down and take that test, your name on that paper and you got to be held accountable for it. You want to put your best foot forward and make sure that you're doing the best thing for you and your brand and yourself moving forward. Nothing feels better than knowing that you did it on your own. So at some point, the guys on the team ended up, all of the progress reports came out. The teachers didn't want to do the progress reports because it was adding work to their workload already. But, being forced to do it after he locked the gym and all of that, every name came out except for his son. Man, that paper was marked up in red, had checks and circles around it, eyes on the paper and everything else. But through hard work and dedication and the guys buying in, they was picking up what coach was putting down. Well, they overcame the bad academic performances to move forward and be what he saw that they could be all of the time. At the end of the day, the bottom line is this. Once he came into those kids' life and affected their foundation, which should have been established long time ago, showed me that there was a lack of participation from the people that laid down and created those kids and created those situations. As a parent, you're responsible for your child's foundation. It's up to them what they build on it eventually. However, you still should be involved as a dictator to make sure that you're effectively influencing the positive direction that they're going in moving forward. Well, once he came into their lives at 14, 15, 16 years old in the high school days, that he was teaching them things that them and their parents should have known from day one, from the time that they embarked on that encounter of laying down and applying for that job to become a parent and bring somebody into the world that didn't know nothing, that needed them to guide them and lead them. But all they saw was a fucking game. I'm just talking about these things, man, because I'm the author of Inside the Business of Calm Management. Calm is a double entendre for choices you make. And I'm in the process right now of relaunching my book to the world. If I'm not mistaken, I think the link is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and then with my new publisher, Reader's Magnet. So I'll start posting the links so that you guys can go there and support that in the future moving forward. Eat something fire already. It's up to you, whatever you decide to do. However, I'm going to remain inside the business.